We are back with Terra Nullius, and after that incredible cliffhanger, which I was incredibly happy about, let's find out what's going on. So we roll back the tape a little bit, and we see the two symbols, right? Shabolba and the Death is the Road to Awe, peel away into nothingness above our characters, and we pan back down, and we see Darius standing in blackness, and he looks around him, and the people that he thought were his party members are not, in fact, his party members. He looks at Toity and he sees his father. He looks at Ari and sees his mother. And he looks at Raya and he sees a fire genasi.
Oh.
But this fire genasi has gray skin. It's obviously a genasi, right? Like it looks like the same facial structure, all that. And there is fire on this person's head, but it's like strange gray fire. And yeah, this person, and it's honestly kind of hard to tell what gender they are. It's just kind of unclear. They look very non-gendered. Like there's nothing really gender specific about them. They're just a very like generic human. Or genasi in this case. And they look at you and they say, huh, no one's ever done it that way before.
I'm one of a kind.
I know, Darius. Yeah, so Seth and Alyssa, you're now playing Darius' parents.
Hi, honey.
Hello. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
his father's not
both
correct.
please try to do the Darius accent as his parents.
Hello.
No.
I saw you thinking about it. Yeah.
I've done well.
Yeah, and so this is the thing, right? Like, Seth and Alyssa, you have been like by Darius's imagination thrust into those roles, right? And so you were playing out Ari and Toity, right? But deep down you did know who you were, right? Like the whole time. And so yeah, you're standing there, and this person is looking at you again, Darius, and the tears are still on their cheek. And they say, "So, are you going to leave?"
Am I going to leave?
Are you going to go off? Are you going to follow your road to awe?
Darius kind of like we get that like anime shot of just the kind of the shadow,
Yeah.
and we just see like a bit of a grin, a smirk on Darius's face, and he just chuckles a bit. Oh, I'm not dead yet.
I appreciate
Darius, your Calvitas is showing.
Yeah. Do you say that, Alyssa, as his mom?
No. Not a character.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he meant that in a menacing way or if he was just like,
Right. Yeah.
no, like I'm not dead yet.
No, not in a menacing way.
Sure.
I didn't think so. So that's why
Yeah.
I was.
As Darius' father just give a nod of approval with a smile, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my boy.
That's my boy. Yeah.
I was just about to say that. That's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah, your parents nodded approval at your fire. And yeah, the gray-skinned Genasi kind of smiles weakly, and they say, "I wish that was all you had to do. I tried putting you through the trial here. I thought that might be enough, but I don't think so. You still feel the tug, right?" And as they say that, right, you still feel this tugging, and it's getting stronger. Like, it's getting to the point where it's hard to focus on what this person is saying.
I do. I still feel it.
I don't know how to help you, Darius. I would very much like to, but I think I've done all I can. I can't interfere directly. I never have been able to.
So you've seen this before.
More times than you could possibly know.
And you've seen anybody come out of this?
Well, your parents are an example of some aspect of it. Some people don't quite go beyond, but your parents, they're tied here because of you. And their love for you. If you go, they go with you. And that will be it.
Well, first I'd like to cordially apologize to Mom and Dad. Sorry! I'm going to make this right. You fought for me. You fought bravely in the war. I'm going to fight this.
It's impossible to fight death, Darius. I would know. I've tried.
There are fates worse than death.
Yeah, the person smiles again, like very weak, almost like pitying smile, and shakes their head and says, "That's wrong. Because what comes after death, Darius? The part of death that we don't get to see on this side, that is the part of death that is the most terrifying of all. Death is not a road to awe, Darius. Death is the enemy."
So how do we fight? How do we fight an enemy that can't be killed?
The person just stares at you. I wish that I knew. If I did, well, so many things would be different.
Well, then I suppose we are going to have to try something.
Be my guest. Yeah, so you're just standing in blackness, right? Like there's nothing around you. You don't have anything on you anymore. It's just like you in like I think you're like actually yeah, like you're just like nondescript clothing. But that's like it, right? There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Darius, as you feel like the tugging, I think like you maybe like glance down at yourself and you see like tiny bits of your hand just like falling off. Like very, very slowly and like disappearing. Like dust.
Well,
I'm not gonna say anything.
Darius looks around. Well, I can't run because no one can outrun death. Tell me, how did I get to this place right here? Why am I not already gone?
Well, mostly it's because of me. I'm doing everything I can to stay it. But there's only so much that I can do in my state.
So I need to find a way to get back.
Yeah, and like the person kind of like looks off into the distance and says like, I don't think that's up to you, Darius. You may be able to fight it, stay it for as long as possible, but coming back, that's not up to you. I think that's up to, and she like, they look at, your mother and father, and they flash back into Toity and Ari for just a moment, right? And then Raya's like, and this person flashes back into Raya just momentarily, and they say, I think that's up to them.
Yeah, that's about what I figured.
And so I
But,
think,
you know,
yeah, go ahead.
and Darius just kind of gets a big smirk. I think they'll do it. I think they'll get it right.
I certainly hope so. I would like to be able to speak to them directly, but I can't.
Do you only exist in this plane?
Not exactly, but most of my essence is bound here, yes. Has to do with the aspects.
Can you give them a message?
My servants tried.
Ugh!
Oh no!
Ah!
Thank you, Caleb.
But someone got to them first.
Ugh!
There's another enemy besides death, Darius. An enemy that seeks after... Well, they seek after me, ultimately. They seek to take what is mine.
Oh, that's why they did it.
And
The snake people and fire people are enemies. I mean, I knew that for a while, but
Yeah.
still.
and what is yours, if I may ask?
What is
What are they-
mine, Darius?
What are they trying to take?
I don't think... I don't think you're ready to know that yet, Darius.
I knew that was what you were gonna say.
That's okay.
There's... I may have told you too much already, and I think that if you do get back, you won't remember some of this. Just the important bits, I think.
It's all right. Now, you're sure there's no
And
other
so,
way we can...
real quick, I think the thing is, like, I think that was Darius's memory of this event. In the actuality, they actually did tell you, but you don't remember. You won't remember when you actually get back, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you will remember everything that just was said, but they told you more, and you won't remember it.
Oh, I dig it. Okay.
Which is Kalo's way of getting out of saying anything.
Exactly. I could have just gone through a whole lore dump right there, but we're far too early for that.
Okay. So,
That's more like a level 10 type of thing that you reveal.
I'm level 12. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
for...
So another, 20 episodes from
Mhm.
now,
Yep.
20, 30 episodes, we'll figure it out.
Unless we force them to tell us.
Unless we
Well-
just, go to Wisconsin and there's
No, I
Look at
meant
my
I
notes.
used my rod of rulership on the snake people.
That's true.
oh, I thought you were going to say you used Rod of Rulership on Caleb and make
Don't think it works that way.
Seth just walks into my room, has a little snake rod, and just hits me on the head.
Tell me. I hit him over the head, roll a d20. Dang it! I'll be back in 8 hours.
Yeah. Gotta go rest.
I'll be back at the next dawn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, right? That's it.
So I think yeah, Darius, did you have a thing that you were gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So, is there any way we can get any kind of message? Anything? Is there anything more that we can do?
I have other servants, and if my visibility into the mortal realm is still working, I do believe that your friends will make it to her eventually anyway.
Good.
Willow.
Let them know one thing from me.
What would that be, Darius?
I'm still with them.
Oh.
I'll make sure to tell them, if I can. Darius, I said that... you said that you can't outrun death, and that is true. But even if you can't run from something,
And
you
beat
may
it at
be able,
checkers.
you may be able to hide from it. It's what I've done.
That's what we'll do. You teach me?
I can try. You might lose more of yourself than you're hoping. I think I used to be better once. Greater. With more of myself. I'm more of a shell now. Shadows. If you hide in shadows for too long, you become one yourself.
I think Darius turns to face the mock-ups of Toydian and Ari. When I do eventually die, will I regain that? Do you know?
What do you mean?
That which he'd lost, like the that you'd hit, you know, or it said that you start to become more of a shell.
Right, so what are you asking? Like
the person that you lose after you cross over to the other side, do you
gain them back? Right.
Yeah.
They look at you and they say, I honestly don't know. I haven't been able to do it myself.
Okay. One more question.
Mm-hmm.
Will I still be able to protect them?
For all of our sakes, Darius, I certainly hope so.
Then I don't care how much of me is lost. Because if they're lost, I'm lost anyway.
I understand that. I was like that once too. The thing is, I'm not entirely sure that I remember them anymore. The people that I lost. Death takes us all in the end, Darius. And even though it's not a road to awe, it's a road that we have to walk. Coming back like this, it will change you. I'm sure of it.
I'm ready.
I hope that you are.
So, what is your name?
Most people call me Shabalba, but that's a bit of a misnomer, since that's the name of my home. It might just be better to call me the caretaker of death. Some call me the god of death, but that's not a title that I lay claim to. Or would
Fair.
ever want to.
So, caretaker,
Yes?
how do we begin?
They look down at the blackness and they say, this is everywhere here in the transitionary stage. You'll have to learn to control it, I think. You were doing an admirable job when it was an illusion, but learning to manipulate the solid stuff is a bit more difficult. Things can be fluid here, but not as fluid as we would wish them to be. I think I can teach you to create shelter, a cloak to hide you from death.
All right.
Are you ready, Darius?
I am.
Darius, are you ready for what
Yeah.
all of this entails? Losing parts of yourself, learning to manipulate this, and thus becoming it at the same time. You will always be marked by death. Are you ready for that?
Caretaker. I'm ready for it all. I have no choice. And even if I had a choice, there's nothing else to choose.
There is a choice, Darius. And as they say that, like, you feel this tug still ever present. And like, you're looking down, right, and you're seeing still bits of your hand just kind of float away into nothingness. And it's like one of the most hard things to not just let go, right? Like, every part of you is just screaming out, right? It's like you've been awake for like 48 hours and like all you want is to just sleep. And if you just close your eyes for 1 second, everything would be better. But you know that if you do, you won't wake up.
I think Darius looks back at Ari. You know, one thing that was so stubborn about you that I've learned from you, and he walks over to her. You just push on. You don't stop. When it hurts, you keep going. When it sucks, you keep going. When you're tired, and you keep pushing forward, even after I get super tired, and I say, hey, can we just stop and nap? You're like, no, let's just keep going. You kept going. You kept pushing us. Because you knew we were capable.
Especially you.
So,
And even that little princess.
what?
I said, and even that little princess.
And even that little princess?
Raya.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the caretaker turns like into Raya momentarily.
I think that was just an out of character thing. I don't think
Oh,
she
okay.
actually
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you walk over to Toity next?
Yeah, I think I walk over to Toity. And you taught me, even in the suffering, even in the hardship, even when it's unbearable, that there's still beauty and still joy to be felt and seen and known. With every foul squeal of those wretched bagpipes of yours, the most beautiful thing is the joy that radiates from your eyes and from your face as you play them. Even in all of that wretched, horrible noise is so much pure, childlike joy.
I love how Darius is like coming out with how he's always hated Toity's music but never said it. It's amazing.
I mean, it's a good thing you're confessing it to
Right?
a fake.
Yeah, fake Toity. Yeah, it's amazing.
Real Tony would be like, excuse me.
Yep.
And I'm also really glad that neither of you hear this.
Yeah, and I think the caretaker flickers into Raya. Because, like, they know that you need this. Like,
Yeah. And you, so sad, Raya. I see myself in you, in a way. I see the cold, bitter fear of not wanting to get close to anyone, of not caring. All about the mission, all about the struggle. Follow orders. And I see so much good that you suppress, so much love. But I also see how much you'll do anything to protect and to fight for what is important to you.
I'm sure Raya would appreciate that.
Maybe. She's also pretty cold.
Yeah, and Raya's face smiles.
Keep smiling. It looks good on her.
Yeah, and I think they flicker back into themselves, and they say, "And you, Darius, you've learned these things from them, and they've learned things from you. I believe that what they've taught you might be enough to hold on for just a little bit more. I wish that I had been able to remember. Maybe I had been able to once. But you, Darius, you don't think that you're only what they have taught you, right? You know that you have had your fair share of struggles. You've lived with death around your shoulder. You've lived with death inside of you. I watched him pass. That is one man that I will gladly see death take.
As long as he takes them this time.
He's gone.
Good.
I made sure of it. I'm
I will
sorry for
say-
all the pain that he caused you. But I think it made you stronger. I think it's the thing that will help you fight this. You've always had to struggle against a tug inside of you.
I did. I will say, I'm a little bitter that it wasn't me. But I'm glad he's gone.
Ari and
And
Raya
glad-
took care of it.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. If anyone else, if anyone other than me, that it was her.
They're all very sad about it. His last trick, he pretended to be you, as if you would return to the body in the moment of death. Ari is still struggling with it.
If Ari really knew me, and I know she does, she'd know that even if she shot me in the heart, that nothing would stop me from caring about her.
Oh my gosh, Jordan. Way to
Gosh
make
darn
this,
you, Jordan.
way to make this such a feels episode.
Seriously, oh my gosh.
We had so many serious episodes in a row.
Yep.
Season 2 is like season 2 of Avatar. It just gets
Mhm.
serious.
Oh my gosh.
So they look at you and they kind of nod, right? And say, I'm sure you'll be able to explain it all to them when you get back. I think you can do it, Darius. I think they can do it. And you can see, like, make an insight check for me, Darius, actually.
Here comes the nat one. Insight. Oh, yay, wisdom. That thing that Darius.
Oh,
No.
nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
There you go. 19.
buddy! My boy Darius, thank you.
So, I think what happens, right, is you notice, you can see this on his face. This is a person, yeah, I guess I said they. It's like they've had nothing to live for a really, really long time. And, like, they've been holding on simply by virtue of it's the only thing they could do. Like, they wouldn't let death have the last word, but they didn't really have a reason to do so. But now they're looking at you and they're like, this is a way that I can fight. If I can get Darius back, right? If I can get him back, then that's a victory that maybe I won't be able to have otherwise. And so you see in their eyes, right, for the first time, like, they aren't like this sad person, like depressed, like gray thing anymore, right? I think you see maybe a little bit of a blue tinge come over the person, and like the hair, right, just at the base flickers into blue. Yeah, they say, let's hide you from death.
Sounds good.
And I think that's where we end this session of Terra Nullius.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy, wow, that was an episode.
That was like such a wholesome episode in some sense.
I mean, after the episode where Darius literally died, like, literally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly satisfied.
Yeah.
If this had been Darius's last, it would have been an amazing send-off. But, oh, we're getting more of this? Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Uh,
I had a feeling it was Shibolba. I was like, okay, this person's Shibolba.
I hadn't thought about that. Because I didn't think of
I think
Shibolba
I
as a
said that
person.
at the beginning of the episode.
And that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, like Shibolba has meant like you guys have understood it to be the underworld, which it is, but it's also kind of been misconstrued in some of the culture as also being the name of this god. But they themselves don't call themselves that. So
Right.
So I had
Yeah.
two guesses as
Mhm.
to who this was, and both of them, I mean, in a sense, they were both kind of on point. They were both kind of right,
Mhm.
but they were both off. One, I thought, oh, Willow.
right.
That's something I thought too. Yeah.
My other thought was Fire Genasi.
So
Yeah,
in
I
a way,
didn't
you
think-
were sort of doing the right
yeah.
direction.
So I definitely didn't think Fire Genasi. I just thought, oh, it's Shibolba, but I didn't realize that it would be a Fire Genasi. That was something that was a
Mhm.
surprise to me. That makes sense though now.
As Caleb, as soon as you said, you're lucky you have these two, I'm like, wait a second.
Uh-huh. I
Oh
saw it
my
in your
gosh.
face. Yep.
That's why he didn't need to summon them.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're already here.
Yep.
I had thought about that too, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
And that's why it was honestly so good, because not only were like Ari and Toy, I mean, they were acting like themselves, right? But almost everything they did also perfectly fit them being Darius's mother and father, right? There was the moment where Ari is like, I won't leave you again, right? She died, right? Like, that's a thing that happened. So yeah, like it was so good. It was so good.
That was beautiful, so beautiful. So, who are we getting to direct the film?
So then does that mean that the time when Ari and Toity were bickering, we were like an old married couple?
Exactly, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Darius gets some XP?
Well, so that's the thing. I thought about it, and then I was like, wait a second. No, I mean, he literally got leveled up. Like,
Yeah.
to
I guess that's
6,
true, yeah.
right? So that's
Yeah.
he got a whole level of XP. So,
I guess that's true.
for the record, though, that Obsidian Golem was a CR7 encounter.
Holy
so.
Dang.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I was so happy the way it turned out there. So basically, what was happening there is you were fighting death. That's what you were doing, right? But like, it was an incarnation of death, and like even he was they were hoping, right, like that if you fought this incarnation, right, like that you would be able to break free of it or something. Like they weren't sure what was gonna happen, but like you defeated it, and then nothing changed, and so they were like, well, I mean, that's all I can do. I don't know what else to do. Yeah. So like, but it was great because Darius could fight it, because he was actually there, right? Like in some sense, right? But Ari and Toity, right? They're obviously these spirits they're less there than even Darius was at that point, right? And so their attacks were much less effective because they're literally his ancestral guardians. So
For shatter.
yeah.
It's so weird being the punching bag. I was like, oh, this is what it's like.
Yeah. Right, and so I had Raya just heal because that's all they could do, right? Was protect or try to help, but they couldn't fight death directly because they're literally the god of death. Like, it's their job to make sure death happens. So
Right.
it was kind of it was this whole thing where they couldn't really do much, all things considered, but yeah. I'm very happy with that episode. Like, I had the idea for this a couple days ago, and I was like, this would be a fun little thing to do.
It was good.
I'm really glad we did this rather than just a fiasco one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And that whole okay, so the whole spew, everything that I've said today was basically impromptu.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. I was like, you're giving us the feels, man.
I knew it was impromptu, but I knew you were also doing it was pretty good. Yeah, when you started talking to Ari, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Like, you're gonna find the reason that you can do this is because of all the things that these people have taught you. It was wonderful.
The hard one was Raya. I'm like, Ari, yeah, okay, easy. Toity, yeah, I can think of something.
Joy and sound and music, yeah.
Yeah, when you started doing Raya's, I was like,
I think at the end of the day, it made sense, though, right? That is ultimately kind of what Raya's thing is. She only does what's necessary. She doesn't actually. She cares about one person, but you guys don't know who that is. So, yeah.
Well, I supposedly have heard her.
Yeah,
sleep.
Ari's kind of starting to figure it out. But yeah, I'm really happy with that episode mainly because so I was thinking about saying, hey guys, do you want to do this thing already? And I was thinking that maybe it would be before Calvidus's death or whatever. I didn't know when it was going to be exactly. But once I knew that Jordan had finished the episode, and then when he was like, I'm really sad about this and all this stuff, I'm like, all right, we need to give Darius a chance to fight back, right? We need to see Darius winning a victory here because he's been trapped for so long. And then I literally already had the whole. This has been a thing that's been in the background for the entire campaign so far, so it was a great time to start breaking out some of that lore. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So
this has probably been one of my favorite episodes so far, and it wasn't even me.
Right. It's one of those episodes, right, where it's obviously about Darius, but it's so much fun to just watch it unfold, right? Yeah. It's fun to see those episodes that are very character centric to one person and just kind of see their story start to develop a bit more.
We've had 3 serious episodes in a row now.
Yeah, it's been getting serious on Terra Nullius. It's gonna continue being serious on Terra Nullius.
It's literally just every the last the first 15 episodes of just all this backstory, all this lore, all
this, Avatar,
all of our story finally just go.
Yeah. Next we've got a mixture of figuring out what happened with the ogres and going to Willow and.
Oh, I have a bunch of other crap that I want to do too.
Yeah.
I gotta find some goals for Toity now, because honestly, Toity's kind of my main arc is the main thing I had behind my character is done.
Really, I have written down a list of goals that I want Ari to do in the next session.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that might be a thing actually. Now that Toity knows that his life isn't in danger, he's like, well, what do I do with myself now?
I mean, the ogres did just attack, and you're supposed to.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing that honestly I'm like, what the frick just happened?
That's the very next thing, right? It's figuring out what happened to Oli, right?
Literally, Miggy and I just left. I'm like, okay, let's go find him right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's the next thing. Yeah.
I don't think Ari's gonna come and track them down because I have proficiency in tracking the ogres now.
And then they're going to come back, and Lord Navarro's going to be like, why'd you both leave camp without saying anything?
Are you colluding with the ogres?
Dun, dun, dun. Up to the gallows now.
Yeah.
And then we at the same time we all have to get introduced to a new character, and like, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be a good
I-
session. So Jordan, what are
am-
you thinking about for that new character? Can you share with us some of your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay, so there's some of it that I just like. I want it to be a mystery.
Right. I mean, you don't have to share everything. I'm just
Yeah.
curious as to like what you're thinking in terms of like how they're gonna
Class
fit
rate.
in. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think what it is I think it's somebody that's going to be on contract
Mm-hmm.
that Lord Navarro has commissioned after hearing high tales of this person. Who's been contracted to help see the rest of the scouting of the island with the scouting party has goes accordingly, and that he would take a professional reign on just making sure things go smoothly.
So is this gonna be a character who's gonna come along and be like, Lord Navarro said we're gonna do this. Sorry, we can't do that. Or is what are you thinking?
No, this is a character that's going to come along, and if he needs to go lone wolf, he can and he will.
Right. So he has his own goals and agendas. Kind of.
It's less that he has his own goals and agendas. It's that
Like, is he going to be loyal to Lord Navarro? Is really my real question.
he will be loyal. He
Okay.
will be loyal to Lord Navarro. Yes,
So
because
it's a matter of like if the party isn't doing like what he thinks Lord Navarro would want them to do, he'll just do it on his own.
it's if he thinks they're doing something that isn't the best way to handle it, or isn't the best course of action, he might, if he sees something that needs to be done that they're not doing, he might just step up and be like, okay, back up, I'm gonna do this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Or in fact, he won't even say anything. He'll probably just be like, bye guy. Like he'll just be doing it. Everyone will
Yeah.
be like, what? Where did it?
So we'll be like Darius, he'll just disappear, but for different reasons.
I just have to wonder. I'm like, what did Lord Navarro do to earn loyalty from so many people, other than just money? Because it can't be just money, obviously.
I mean, have you seen the way that he acts? Like he's a very like calculated person. Like
I get that, but like,
I mean, he's also a noble and yeah, has money. And I think there's a side of him that maybe you haven't seen yet. I mean, he
well, I feel like
he relates to you, Ari, because you both like exploring in the wilderness and all that stuff, right? But, you know.
I'll say this about my character. I think Ari and my character would get along.
I don't think he's gonna get along with Tweety very well, though.
we'll see. I don't think Ari is gonna get along with anybody who's supposedly replacing Darius.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I wouldn't even say that he's coming to replace Darius.
Well, that's the
But
thing, right? Like
that's how
Navarro
Ari,
wasn't. Well, yeah, right. Navarro wasn't.
It doesn't matter.
He didn't even know what was going on with Darius when
Yeah.
he came over, right? But like, yeah, that's what's gonna look like to Ari, right? Like, she's gonna be like, well, Darius isn't here, and then we're getting this other guy. He's replacing Darius. That's what it
Right.
is. Yeah.
I would even go as far as to say that the guy that's being hired thinks that he's coming in and doing this alone, and that he's going to try to operate on the assumption, and he's going to try to do this on his own. But there also happens to be this team of 3 other people that are kind of tagging along and kind of doing the same thing.
So then that's just gonna make me hate him anymore because this is my job. Dang it!
Yeah, she's in charge here.
I'm the one who's making the cool map and like has done all the heavy lifting here, and now you're just gonna come in and take all the credit? No, thank you.
He's not going to come in and take all the credit.
I'm just saying that's how Ari is gonna.
Right. I mean, I'm honestly.
He could be like the nicest guy in the world, and Ari's gonna be like,
Yeah. I was expecting that from Ari too. Yeah. No matter who this is, she's not gonna like him.
I will also say I wouldn't expect nice. to be his.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Even
I know.
if, yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's a complete butthead or if he's really nice, or he's just probably don't like him.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like most people, so
It's true.
you know.
She doesn't like Toity, and Toity's amazing. You know.
Sure, Seth. Just keep believing that.
Just
That's
sing your
fine.
praises. It's fine.
So I mean, I'm interested in that, Jordan, because I mean, if this character is going to be around just long enough to then get replaced by Darius again, right? I'm like, it sounds like a great option to have him be kind of antagonistic to the party, right? Where like there'll be some interesting conflicts and things that will happen, and then it will end up coming to a head where by the time that Darius gets back into the party, hopefully, like this guy will be like, yeah, not about this. I'm gonna completely lone wolf this, or he just gets killed somehow.
Well, it could be either those, or it could even be that his like it's just like, all right, contract's up, I'm out.
Right. Or you just like find another thing to do, and you're just like, oh, this is more interesting. I'm just gonna do this.
Oh no! Not gonna say that. Not gonna say that.
You could go join the snake people.
That's not where I was going at all. I was going a worse route than the snake.
You should totally say it out loud because
no, I will not forgive myself if I say it out loud.
He assassinates Navarro. That was his secret goal.
Oh wow! I mean, that would be cool. But you said it out loud now, so
that wasn't my plan at all. No, my plan is something I don't want to ever happen.
Okay, sounds good. So you're thinking of doing monk then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do monk.
Cool.
Makes sense with the lone wolf style too.
Monk is pretty cool. Like you know, especially if you're gonna take like the hermit, like
yeah, I am.
Background, then that would make sense.
Okay, who here has, and I assume this is a big nobody, but who here has played Mortal Kombat?
Oh, Mortal Kombat. One time I think.
I know a little bit about it.
I have not.
Okay. Do you know the yellow ninja scorpion?
Nope.
No, he can like spit acid, I think.
No, that's Reptile.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Just never mind then.
That analogy will not work.
Well, describe which one, because like I know a little bit about it. So keep what exactly? Is he the one that says "Get over here"?
Yes, he's the one that throws the spear and brings people to him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's like super, like epic super ninja. Like he's one of the biggest characters of the franchise. Like most people, their favorite characters.
Yeah.
Either Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
So were you thinking of being an elf then? Is that what you were thinking?
He will be a wood elf.
Awesome. So he's gonna be from India.
Born in India.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of Indian descent.
He's of Indian descent. This is true.
But yeah, the world is a largely cosmopolitan place. Especially the Mediterranean. Cool, I'm into it. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I made a character sheet for you on Roll20, Jordan's new character. So feel free to fill that in when you want to. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next time. I think this is a really great, fun little chapter in the story of Terra Nullius, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. Yeah, there's gonna be some fun stuff, guys.
It's gonna get interesting.
It really is. Yup. What?
I just had this dumb thought. What if all three of the others got killed and then they're all like in the same place? Like, hey, what's up? We're gonna get out of here now, guys.
Darius is like, well, I've been holding on and y'all just died, so I guess let's just all go together. Just like
we'll all hold hands. We'll all hold hands and go to the.
It'll be like Toy Story 3.
Oh no!
Exactly.
But that means the claw's gonna save you.
Exactly. The DM. The claw represents the DM just coming in and just being like, actually,
Deus Ex Machina.
I'm not done with you yet.
If all you TPK, like, I mean, sorry.
Well, if we TPK,
then what we'll do is we'll take on the roles of people inside the the new world, and then we'll fight off the people in the old world.
Oh, that would be a fun direction to take that. Honestly,
That
I
would
would be
be
excited
so
about that. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so like this is the thing, right? Like Darius, I mean, he did die, right? And so like he's had not number one, but now 2 chances to continue living. But the reason that I do that is because like not because I wanted to make it this cheap thing, but one, both of them have had really logical in character and lore reasons for why this is a thing. Like I planned this death god thing for forever. And so it totally makes sense. And we also had the weird prophecy thing that was with your sandals that he mentioned, right? Like this has been a thing in the works for a while. And so yeah, I'm definitely not ready to see Darius kick the bucket. So like we gotta bring him back. And maybe he dies after that, but you know, that's the game for you. So we'll see.
Like we're gonna bring him back, and then he's gonna die again, and she's just gonna be like, "What the heck? No, I just sent you back."
Yeah. Seriously, what?
Oh,
Okay, we know what we're doing this time.
They suck at healing. No,
But
actually,
let's be real. If this was Ari, she would have just been dead. Just, oh no.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, same with Toity. He was wanted
I don't know.
dead
You
anyway.
believe in Dragonborn Jesus, so
I know, but he was wanted dead anyway, so
I mean, so that's the thing, right? We've had a situation where like almost like all of you would have died except for Toity, and if that had happened, I would have just gone with it. Like we would have just made like it would have been like either Toity runs off and does his own thing, and we make all new characters, or like Toity like Grizzled Toity leads a new group of adventurers. Like
that's right. That almost happened in the
Right.
flesh cave.
yep, you guys literally almost died. It was that close.
It was all because you let me cast vicious mockery on Darius. That everyone's still alive, well, except for Darius.
Oh no.
oh.
Right, but like we've had moments like that, and like that's the thing, right? This is a game where death is definitely a thing that happens, but only when it like I
Especially
don't.
in side stories.
Yes, exactly in side stories. Yeah, side stories I don't care as much, but like Darius just dying in the cave that first time would have been dumb. Like that wouldn't have made any sense. Like,
Plus, we would have been screwed after that because
yeah,
we all
it's
would have
true.
died.
yeah, but yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going. I much prefer like heroic character deaths or like deaths on their own terms, where like a character decides, yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice myself to do this thing. Those are much more fun.
I tried to do
Like
that as
Gret.
one character. and
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, I'm gonna save you and put you inside this kaiju.
Hey, that was cool though. What?
It was cool.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
It made total sense. I was foreshadowing it from the beginning. You were a Jonah. It was a thing.
she was a Jonah. She was running from God.
Well, no, not exactly. I mean, kind
I
of,
mean, kind
I
of.
guess. Yeah.
in a metaphorical sense.
I mean, almost in a literal sense, because like the weird cult priests were like following a god of some sort, so you didn't want to be anywhere near them.
No, I mean they were creepy. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's true.
and I knew it. I was just like, something ain't right about these guys.
I loved when you got to punch that guy that time.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a total impulse thing. But then I thought about it more, and I was
Mhm.
like, because you guys were like, "Whoa, that doesn't make sense," and I'm like, actually, it kind of does.
No, it totally made sense now that I thought about
She
it.
has like her kind of like own sense of judgment in a sense.
Mhm.
Like Sayori she just cares about people. I think in general is really what it is. And so when she's like, "Wow, you're a real douchebag," like,
yeah,
you're not afraid
I'm gonna
of-
punch you in the face now.
yeah, like that just wasn't cool. Like you, like somebody died and you're making a mockery of it. Like
Uh-huh.
that's not cool.
At least it wasn't a vicious mockery.
No, but it was an unarmed strike, and that's for a monk character. That's
Mhm.
a lot of damage.
You decked him, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember the results of that whole session. There's a guy running around the world now who's literally from Earth. That's a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, we never stopped him, did we?
No, you didn't. He just ran away.
Well, we haven't played those characters since then.
Exactly.
so-
Yeah.
He probably got eaten by a sea monster or something.
It's true.
No, because he got magic. That's right. Didn't he get magic when he crossed the barrier?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "God has blessed me."
Yep.
He
But
probably
we did kill
like,
the original Clement, and so now this new Clement is running around.
He's probably like gonna meet a beholder and like become its best friend, and then become like a beholder tamer or something.
Oh man, that's an interesting direction to take that. Yeah, sure.
He's the holder of beholders.
Yeah. Where are you in the side stories, Jordan?
I haven't even made any progress.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of what's happened in most of the
That's the thing.
side
I mean, we
stories, to
totally
be
just
honest.
like spoiled a bunch of things for you in side stories, but
It's all right.
Well, I mean, actually, I guess it doesn't matter where we are in most of our side stories because most of them, my characters are dead.
Yep. Only in one of them is your character not
Only
dead.
one of them have they not died.
Well, no,
Oh no,
actually,
technically two of them. Yeah. There's
actually, no, because Drath is technically dead because it's in the past.
Yes, technically, he has been dead for 1,000 years. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
The
hey,
Felmar is still alive, though.
if
Wait, how
Calvinus
was it
is
1,000 years ago? Oh, yeah.
The Calvitas
The Calvitas story. Yeah,
one-shot,
sorry.
yeah.
Todd Volo,
Todd Volo.
I am convinced Todd Volo still walks the earth.
Are you now? Interesting speculation.
That'd be funny if Emily's character ever
I'm
dies.
convinced that Todd Volo is the one who is like in charge of the snake people. Of the snake.
Oh, that would be an interesting turn. of events.
Don't
Because he
give,
has a snake, and like
Uh-huh.
that's just like
don't give Caleb
Mhm.
ideas.
I will say I thought of that too, Alyssa, but I'm like, I mean, this is a completely different
why else
island.
would the snake people try to help him? It's
Oh, that's a
it's
good
because,
point.
like his buddy
Caleb is
Todd
stroke.
Volo is like,
Caleb's
hey,
stroking
I know
beard.
that guy. Like,
But here's the thing: Todd Volo didn't seem to really care for Darius. Like, pretty sure Todd Volo,
you mean
Good.
Calvitas.
yeah, copy this. I'm pretty sure Todd Volo would have like easily.
Well, then if
just, like,
anything, he might have just tried to bring him back to like,
bring him under his command,
I guess so, or like to.
kill him himself.
Well, I mean,
Whatever.
Calvitas was a very successful at what he was doing.
Mhm. Very true.
Yeah, I mean, there's could have been lots of reasons. Like, just because he didn't care for him too much didn't mean that like he didn't see merit in hitting him.
Mhm.
True.
Mhm.
I mean,
Interesting,
I always
interesting
thought it would
ideas,
be
everyone.
awesome.
Yeah.
I totally thought it would have been awesome.
I kept my mouth shut on my ideas because I do not want you thinking of what's going through my head.
I mean, that's totally gonna be our boss battle, right? Is against Todd
Todd
Volo.
Volo. Yeah, he's the boss of the whole thing. Of course. Yeah.
Assuming Todd Volo doesn't
He's,
die. in
he's the snake.
second
He's the
debate.
Snake King. Yeah.
But see, I totally thought it would have been awesome if Todd Volo was the one that killed Calvitas in the first place.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh,
on
like
that.
1,000 years ago, yeah.
Honestly, I think that's probably the case. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we haven't played it out yet, but that could be definitely what happened. So.
One day
Very
when I'm
neat.
not here, you guys will have to just play that.
Yeah. Fun.
It's a sad consolation.
Yep. So there you go. That is Terra Nullius. Had a little bit of time there to kind of chat about upcoming Terra Nullius things and backwards Terra Nullius things in the past. So that's been episode 18. Great episode, guys. Thanks for being willing to let Jordan take center stage. And,
That was awesome.
yeah,
It was worth it.
It was great. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for indulging my
Mhm.
my random.
I'm really glad that this happened.
Yeah, me too. Because, I mean, honestly, the main reason this happened is I felt really, really bad that we killed off your character while you were gone.
Seriously.
I was like, man, that was mean of me to do that.
I mean,
I literally told Ari as an NPC, you have to choose whether to kill Darius or Toity. I did that. That was the
so
thing I
whose
did.
fault was it really?
I'll take the blame.
No. Let's rewind.
Mm-hmm.
You know whose fault Darius is? You know whose fault it is that Darius is dead right now?
Who's?
It is a combined fault of Darius himself and Calvitas.
How so?
In that cave, what happened shortly before that?
Oh, you
would
like
have-
let him out. Yeah.
Huh?
You like let him out, right? Yeah. You like let Calvitas kind of like take control.
A little bit. Before Darius died and before Calvitas was like taking control and stuff, and before he was going in and out, before that there was an event that happened that could have prevented any of them or from him from dying in the first place, because they wouldn't have even had to go over there because they could have left without even having to fight anybody.
I'm curious. What was this event? I
Do
don't
you
know.
remember the kobold that was mercilessly slaughtered?
Yeah.
Right, because I said let's keep him and let him guide us out of here.
Yeah, and you were bloodthirsty and you killed him instead of talking to him.
My reasoning for that is that Calvitus kind of stepped into that moment
A
of
bit of Calvitus's influence there, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean that's very true. Honestly, like if Toity had a chance to just talk to the guy, he probably could have convinced him to like be like, "Hey, where's the exit?" And then you guys would have gone the right way instead of into the dead end that got you all killed.
Yep. And that would have been everything entirely different.
That's true.
It's crazy how a single decision like that can change everything about a game.
And the only person I until Darius actually dies, the only person I blame is myself.
Right, yeah. After he actually dies, you'll just blame me, but
I mean,
but hey, I had the literal god of death help you escape death. So come on. I am benevolent GM. I win the benevolent GM award for this session.
I really want. Oh man, Seth, Jordan, you know what we should have done? We should have, while we were in Universal Studios, we should have gotten one of those Hollywood like golden statues and written best benevolent.
Oh my gosh, that'd have been amazing.
That'd have been funny. You could probably order those online.
Probably.
I want to order one like that that's actually chocolate wrapped in foil.
That'd be expensive, I bet.
It would, yeah.
I feel like that would be less expensive than.
Well,
like,
just because
actual
the mold would be expensive, just because of the shape. I feel.
Yeah.
It could be 3D printed fairly cheap.
Thanks, live streamer viewers, for watching Terra Nullius.
Yeah, there was a guy in the chat. He was asking questions though, like with the delay, it made it really hard to understand what he was asking.
Oh yeah, I totally wasn't looking at chat the whole time.
Yeah, a guy named Brackus.
Nice to hear from you, Brackus. Thanks for watching.
He said-
Sorry we couldn't see anything.
He said like she is off. I'm like, wait, what? He's like he doesn't care. I'm like, who doesn't care? What is he? What? So I don't know what he was referring to. So I stopped
She
responding.
is off is probably Raya.
No, because this was afterwards. This is that when we were just chatting.
Oh, maybe he's just talking about me. Maybe I'm just a little off.
Because of the delay, I don't know why he said that. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh hey, Carly's in chat. Hi, Carls.
Hi, Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Yeah.
I was about to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how long she's been in. But yeah, so that is episode 18 of Terra Nullius. I'm excited to play episode 19.
Oh my God.
Can't wait, guys.
Hey guys, I just realized we're adult. This is the adult episode,
We're adults.
which is why it was so serious.
This is
Yeah.
why being an adult sucks.
This is the episode where we went and I bought our first pack of cigarettes.
Oh
and we
no! And you're just slowly killing yourselves.
went-
Boy, by the time we're at
This is the
episode
beginning of the
21,
end.
we're already gonna be alcoholic.
like
Oh
Like-
boy.
like the whole like Darius's skin like fading away. It's totally a metaphor for like cancer because of cigarettes.
I thought it was a metaphor for Thanos.
Yeah, I mean that was totally doing that, of course. Yeah.
Really.
I was gonna say, I was like, damn, I don't feel so good.
Uh-huh.
Too early.
I was thinking like Darius would like look at his parent and be like, Toity, I don't feel so good. Yeah.
And then I still haven't seen Infinity War.
Mr. Toity.
Oh no, I'm
Stop
sorry.
I mean-
it, stop.
There's no way that you haven't seen that meme, so I don't think it's
Oh,
a
I've
spoiler.
seen the meme.
Yeah, exactly.
Millions of times. I saw the meme when it started.
You
so-
should, Carly. You should watch through all of Terra Nullius. That would be awesome.
That
It's a
would be amazing.
great game.
I haven't rewatched through all of it.
And if
I'm literally
you,
rewatching it all right now. I'm on episode 9.
Yeah.
if you go
Like, I
through all of
periodically
Terra
rewatch it.
Nullius and you like start keeping counters of certain things, like how many times does Plan Stupid come up? and you start like we get like get a grocery
That's what
list
we're
of
gonna
this.
do after Avatar: The Last Rewatch. Is we're gonna do a Terra Nullius rewatch where we just watch ourselves.
I think we've joked about that before. Yeah. Oh no, we joked about doing an Avatar: The Last Rewatch, where we watched the episodes of Avatar: The Last Rewatch and talked about them. Which would have been the dumbest.
I look so stupid in this angle.
Yeah.
What's up with my hair that day?
Jordan, you have food again? Jordan, you have food again?
Yep.
Jordan, just stop.
Yeah, Carlos, if you watch through this campaign and you get to this episode, like, you will have all the feels.
Episode will make so much more
all
sense.
the feels. Well, she just came like 10 minutes ago, so she didn't see the episode. She just popped in. She was writing. And then taking a break.
This is a very serious episode. When Emily watches through this, it's gonna be.
I'm glad. Like, it's gonna be fun to see Emily's live reactions.
She's just gonna be shaking her head the whole time whenever you role play Raya.
Seriously.
Like,
she's gonna be like, "Why did you choose that spell? I don't understand. That was such not a good decision."
I don't even think it's that. I think it's the role-playing part.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't role-playing Raya. I was role-playing the God of Death, pretending to be Raya.
I know, but like she doesn't know that until like
it's true. Yeah.
Until it happens, unless she figures it out, of course. But
yeah.
Like,
I figured as soon as he was only casting healing spells, I'm like, okay, this is definitely not Raya.
I mean, did you think any of you were actually?
Well, I mean, I knew obviously none of us were actually our characters. Yeah.
But you guys could fight it, and
I kind of wish you would have told us that we were his ancestral guardians, because then we could have just played that up.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
so
I didn't know. In classic Caleb fashion, I didn't know until the end of the first part. That's when I decided that was the case. Or maybe like halfway into maybe like half an hour into the episode. I knew that the God of Death was going to be there the whole time, but I thought about it and I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. But yeah, like I thought about it. That's the thing, right? Like once we got to the end of the first part, I thought about it. I was like, should I message them about this? But I was like, you guys are doing such a good job like playing to these characters anyway, that and like we had already established that this is some sort of like a illusionary like dream reality thing, and like it's Darius like thinking of all of this as if it's his normal life, right? And so I think it made sense for you guys to do what you did. And it was a fun reveal for you guys too, right? Like one part of it, right, was I was like, but if I tell them, then like maybe Jordan will catch on quicker or something like that, right? Like I wanted it to be this like cool reveal. And it ended up working great accidentally, which is much more fun than it working on purpose. So yeah.
Of course, typical Caleb fashion, where you make up half the stuff and then we're still surprised, and still comes out as an amazing story.
I try. I certainly try. So I've learned to play to my strengths. I'm good at winging things.
Caleb is the amazing.
Whoa, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, cool, awesome. Well. Let's go ahead and get out of here, and do some Avatar stuff. All right, there you go. We are out. This is Terra Nullius episode 18. We'll be back next week, amazingly, with another episode of Terra Nullius. And maybe we'll just end up doing something on Thanksgiving anyway, even without Ari or Alyssa. I don't know. I just really want to be with you guys again. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything Thanksgiving night.
We could finish up the Calvitas plot.
I'm working Thanksgiving.
Oh, right. I'm done.
Right.
Good. I mean, if you want to just finish it up
we can just play a different day. It's cool. I don't have anything going on that week.
That's fair. I'm honestly kind of free.
I could do Wednesday. Let's talk after. We
should. We'll discuss it. That would be fun.
Streamers.
I would like that.
Bye, Carly.
Bye.